Hi, Rebecca Ashton with your exercise of the week. So this week we're going to do bridging. So we're not going to do a full shoulder bridge, but we're going to do the beginnings of that exercise. And I love this exercise for riders because it's really good at getting the back mobile and softer to get rid of any blockages in the back. As well as obviously focusing on the core engagement, which is very important. And what you'll find is this exercise will take you up into a neutral spine with sequential movement of the back, so you can feel whether you're favoring one side of your back or the other, or you're twisting your hips around. So it gives you a lot of feedback, even though it's not the most strenuous exercise. And you'll also takes you up into a neutral spine and opens all the front of your hips and stretches the front of your thighs, which is also really great for riding. So let's get cracking. So we're going to lie down on the back, and you know, the main things I always tell you to think about before you actually start moving is A, B, C. So your alignment, your breathing, and your core. All really important things to be focused on before you start moving. So I'm going to check that my feet are parallel and hip joint width apart. So it's not the outside of the hip, but where the joint is. And I want my knees to be hip width apart. And as I lie down, I want to make sure I've got a nice neutral spine. So my tailbone's heavy on the ground. I've got a little space under my lumbar, or a little less pressure. My ribs are connected gently into the ground, not too much because that'll bring my shoulders up, but just gently relaxing into the ground. My chest is wide, my shoulders are relaxed. My arms are by my side, palms down. And what I want to look at, I can give you a bit of leverage with this, a little bit of leeway, because I'm going to roll up, do a chest press, and make sure my hands can touch my heels before I go back down. Now that might, for you, create too tight an angle to roll up and you can't get that curve through your lower back. If that's the case, I'll let you move your feet away a little bit, but that's something to work towards. Also, when you do the exercise, you're going to keep your head up to the ceiling and your neck really long. I'm going to keep turning my head so I can talk to you, but you're going to do it correctly, obviously. Okay, so I'm checking my heels and I can feel those, so that's good. I'm going to go back down. I'm going to engage my lower abs gently, about 25-30% engagement, and my pelvic floor as well. And I'm going to breathe in. And then I'm going to breathe out to imprint my lower back, because remember, we're in neutral. It's not pressed into the ground here yet. So now I'm going to imprint my lower back and breathe out to continue the roll up the spine, one vertebrae at a time, keeping my knees hip joint width apart. I'm not going to do this and make my knees go wider. And breathing out to the top of the move. Now, that for me is the top of the move with my body. I don't want to take it too high. That's okay for some exercises, but you know, when you want a good back extension. But for us here today, I want you to keep your ribs connected a little bit. And I want you to keep the hips lifted and the knees pressing away to stretch all the front of the legs. And the feeling is your heels are pulling back into your glutes without moving. It's just a sensation there. Okay, then you're going to take a breath in and breathe out, rolling back down. So I'm going to melt my ribs down is the first part of the move, and then each vertebrae working down my back, even the lower back, so I don't want to bypass there. I'm tucking the pelvis, and then I release into a neutral position again. So we'll try it again. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm curling my pubic bone kind of up to my nose almost, and keeping that sensation. I'm rolling the back. I don't want to straighten the back out too soon. I want to keep that back stretching out and the abs working and engaging until I get to the top of the move. Breathing in, relaxing the ribs and working through my back. Now, if you hold too much in this sternum area as you go down and don't release it, what you'll find, you'll start dragging your shoulders down. So make sure that stays a little bit dynamic, that hold through your body. Breathe in, breathing out. And the other focus, I'm focusing on rolling right down the center of my spine, and I'm checking that I'm not favoring one side of my body or the other. And also that when I lift my hips or pop them back down, that I'm not hitching them and putting them down evenly. So this is giving you lots of feedback, this exercise. So it's really good for your riding. It also balances out your central nervous system, so your sympathetic and parasympathetic. So if you've had a bit of a crazy day, it's a really nice one to rebalance and recenter. So good before you get on your horse, and a good way to finish things off as well.